Hi, Amina here. I'm back with another video. This video, I felt like it's very important for me to post this video because I've been answering your questions about this topic over and over again. Like I always say, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm just someone who is I create content around health and wellness. I've managed to lose a couple of kgs here and there, and I've learned things along the way that I'll be glad to share with you. So today's topic is on mistakes that you're doing that might be making your weight loss journey be slower, and specific when I talk about mistakes around intermittent fasting. As you know, I've always been talking about intermittent fasting and how it's powerful and how it has been one of the tools, if not the most important tool that I've used to be able to lose 37 kgs in a period of 9 months. So I'll start with this is not actually a point or among my points, but it's one of the most important things that I tell people. Number one, when you start intermittent fasting, most people tend to focus on just fasting and they forget that it's very, very important to also focus on what you're eating. As much as you're fasting, as much as you're doing all that, the food you put in your mouth is as equal as the time you stay away from food, meaning the time you fast. So point number one, the one mistake that people generally make, or if you're starting that I will want to tell you before you do it, is not drinking enough water. Water is very, very important. Even if you're not eating, please remember to hydrate. I'll say minimal 2 liters a day, but that depends on your weight and your lifestyle, but try your level best to do at least 2 liters. For me, I do 3.5 a day, and that's me and that's my body, and that's what works for me. So point number 2 will be, I'm referring to my notes, will be starting too fast, too hard, especially if you're a newbie. If you're someone who's just starting out and you want to start doing a long fast, you want to jump into 20 hours or 1 meal a day, please don't. Just start slowly. And especially if you're used to a high carb diet, it will be quite hard for your body to switch from getting its fuel from carbohydrates to now not getting fuel, or just have switching to burning your body fat for energy. So it's going to be very hard. So take time. You can start, if you're a newbie, you can start with 13 hours fast, and then you gradually build into it. So don't start too fast and too hard. Be gentle with yourself. And then the third point will be eating a high fat carb diet. And this is just pretty much when I was saying you focus on fasting and forget what you're putting in your mouth. If you fast for, let's say, 16 hours and then you break your fast with chips or processed food or a junk, you're definitely not helping yourself. It's better when you're doing a fast, you also try and eat low carb, high fat, moderate protein diet, something that will help you, like as much as you're fasting, you're also getting good food in, and you're able to lose the weight as fast as you wish to. The third point will be like that when you break your fast, the type of the frequency of eating food, and then the food that you eat. Most people I see, when they break their fast, let's say you're doing a 16-hour fast, that will mean if you're fasting for 16 hours, you're eating for 8 hours. During your eating period, you eat small frequent meal. It's like you're snacking, but it's not really like snacking in between like what typically people do, lunch, dinner, but it's snacking, meaning you're eating small food within your 8-hour period. That will make you constantly be spiking your blood glucose. In exchange, you'll be spiking your insulin. And for us who we are trying to lose weight, or the most important hormone for us is insulin, making sure we have the insulin in check. So make sure you'll rather eat 2 to 3 sort of large meals as compared to eating frequent meals throughout your eating period. Someone who's doing a longer fast, let's say you're doing a 20-hour fast a day, that will mean you take 2 meals, but I'll say minimal, have 2 meals. You also don't want to get your body to think that you're facing starvation. You see, when you eat a small meal after you break your fast, your body will think that you're facing starvation and it will tend to hold on to food. So what you do, you'll rather eat 2 big meals. And when I say big meals, I don't mean a high carb food. I mean, when I say your plate should have quality fats, you should have proteins and fiber. That's the most 3 nutrients that your body requires: fat, protein, and fiber. So your food or your first plate or your first meal should have that. So remember, you'll rather eat 2 to 3 meals depending on your eating window than eating frequent meals. And then the 6th point will be not having enough electrolytes. And when I say that, is that especially for the people who are starting out, you might get frequent headaches, or you're not taking enough water. Apart from just increasing your water intake, it's also very important to have electrolytes. And when I say electrolytes, I mean taking salt, and the specific type of salt is a sea salt, or other people tend to take pink Himalayan salt. So make sure you can do it 2 ways. You can put it in a glass of water, like a pinch or a teaspoon, half a teaspoon, and then mix it in a glass of water and drink it. That will give you the enough electrolytes, and it will help you from not getting headaches or the symptoms that are connected with not having enough electrolytes. Or the other option, which I do, is that I can't stand water that has salt. So what I do, I just take a pinch of salt, and then I put it in my hand, and then I just take it, and then I take the water. So I don't mix it because I find it a bit hard. But if you have a thyroid problem, be careful with the amount of pink Himalayan salt you take. So that's point number 6. And now point number 5, sorry, I said 6. Point number 6 is mistakes. I've grouped them into a category where I call them mistakes when breaking your fast. Number 1 mistake will be breaking your fast with a protein shake. A protein shake is quite healthy. It's not, it's a good thing. But whenever you break your fast, as much as you're fasting, it's also very important to look at what you're eating immediately after breaking your fast. Let's say you break your fast with a protein shake. A protein shake, most of them, or the proteins that are out there, tend to have sugar. And when they have sugar, what does that mean? It means that your body will break it down faster. And then also, you need to break your fast. I forgot to mention this in the beginning. Whenever you break your fast, it's very important you break your fast with the 3 food groups. If you eat something, it has to have protein, it has to have fat, it has to have fiber. So when you take protein shake, first of all, proteins is the most filling food. So you're going to feel full, and you don't have the other food 2 groups, which is fat and fiber, and both of them are very, very important. So avoid taking protein shake. You can do it, you can take the shake after or with another meal, but don't make it as your number 1 option to break your meal. Number 2 is that breaking with a fruit smoothie. This is when people take fruits and blend them. The mistake with that is that most of these fruit smoothies, or when you blend a couple of fruits, first, the fruits contain fructose, the natural occurring sugar, and then also they contain fiber and carbs. They don't have proteins. And like I've said, proteins are the most important food groups for making you feel full. Like you'll go 3 to 4 hours without feeling hungry if you include proteins. So that's a mistake. And then another mistake is that whenever we blend fruits or blended stuff or food, they go through our system very fast, and then they're broken down, and then they're absorbed very fast in the bloodstream. So there's a spike of the blood glucose immediately after taking it, and then that equates to you spike your insulin. So that makes it sort of counterintuitive, where you're fasting, but you're still spiking immediately. When you break your fast, you spike it high, and then also you'll feel hungry faster, because it's not like it doesn't make you feel full. So remember, protein, fat, and fiber. The other thing that when it comes to breaking fast, avoid smoothies. When I say smoothies, some people tend to even have green smoothie, something like celery, pretty much something very healthy. I'll say like celery juice and cucumber. That's pretty much okay. But the problem with breaking with it, first of all, you won't feel full. you will feel like it will go through your system very fast, and that will make you eat again and again. And then it doesn't have protein. Again, I'm repeating, protein is very, very crucial. Let's say something, a smoothie like celery and cucumber may have 0 fat, 0 protein, and then it has 10 carbs. So you see, you're not taking the 3 food groups that are very, very important. So avoid juices. When I say juices, like those green juices, I'm not saying you don't take them. What I'm saying is that instead of breaking your fast with them, why don't you have your meal alongside it, but pay attention to the protein. Another thing is that, now this is a different point. Number 7 is that make sure you have high quality protein. I've said it again and I'll say it again. Have a high quality protein. And when I say high quality protein, is that make sure you have enough protein for the day. And it's if it's chicken, make sure it's not it's grass fed, it doesn't have chemicals, it's not food that it's like canned food. Just quality protein. That most likely try and get food that you make it from scratch from your home. Like if it's beef, if it's chicken, cook it. And then how you know the amount of protein you should take in a day, you calculate like this: between 1.2 to 1.6 grams per your body weight. If let's say for me it's it will be like 1.4 times 75 kgs or 74, because I'm between those two. Then I get the amount of proteins I should take per day. So if you know, let's say it's 150 grams, now you can divide it into 2 meals, or you can have it in 1 meal, depending on, but most likely just divide it in 2 meals, because again, you don't want to eat a lot of meals or less meals, so you can divide it in 2. But also, this is an important point: if you're a man and you're working out and you need to build muscles, because you know proteins are they help to when they're broken down to their building blocks, the amino acids, they help to repair muscles, and they help if you're trying to bulk up and grow muscles. So if you're a man and you're working out, try and have 1.6 times your body weight. And for a woman, if you're a person who works out, try and have 1.4. So have high quality protein. And the final bit to this video is that most people tend to have collagen when they are fasting. Collagen, in it's a protein. Its building blocks is amino acid. In the absence of carbs, which clearly when you're fasting you don't have carbohydrates, it's broken down into sugar. What happens when you break down sugar? It spikes your blood glucose, and then it spikes your insulin. So you pretty much be thinking you're fasting, but you're not fasting. So those are the mistakes that people have found out, or people tend to do. So if you're starting out your journey, please note out these points. Please look at what you're eating. Don't just eat anything. As much as you're fasting, food is very important. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. Keep sharing this content. Keep telling your friends. Intermittent fasting is powerful. Weight loss has its benefit. It's good to be healthy. It's good to be strong. So have a lovely, 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 lovely day. Take care. Bye-bye.